The Pirate King, Episode 2, The Job. The job had never been just a paycheck. It was something Sam Jensen chose, something he believed in long before he ever put on the uniform. Even on the worst days, when the calls stacked up and the paperwork felt endless, there was still something about it that made sense. You showed up, handled what was in front of you, and moved on to the next thing. Simple. At least on the surface. That morning started like most others. Coffee that was too strong, a quick glance at his phone, and the quiet mental checklist of everything waiting once you got on his shift. He had learned to keep things compartmentalized. Work stayed at work. Life stayed outside of it. It was the only way to keep from getting buried. By mid-afternoon, the rhythm of the day had already worn thin. A domestic call that went nowhere. A report that took longer than it should have. A supervisor reminding everyone about procedure like it was the only thing holding the world together. He leaned back in his chair, rubbing his eyes, when his partner, Hayes, dropped a file onto his desk. "You ever think about getting out of this?" Hayes asked. Sam glanced up. "Out of what?" "This," Hayes said, gesturing around the room. "Uniform, patrol, all of it. Moving up." Sam gave a small shrug. "I am moving up." Hayes smirked. "Yeah? Where?" Sam hesitated just long enough for Hayes to notice. "IT division," he said finally. "Cybercrime." Hayes raised an eyebrow. "Seriously?" "That was always a plan." "Since when?" "Since college." Hayes leaned against the desk, crossing his arms. "Man, I didn't even know you went to college for that." Sam gave a faint half smile. "Most people don't ask." Hayes nodded slowly. "So what, you just waiting for them to come knocking?" "Something like that." It wasn't exactly true. He'd already applied more than once. He just hadn't told anyone. Not Cooper, not anyone at the station. It felt like something he didn't want to talk about until it actually happened. That night, after his shift ended, he found himself back at the shop again. DJ was in the middle of running a job, the machine humming steadily as sheets of paper fed through the perfect rhythm. He glanced up when Sam walked in. "You're early," DJ said. "Or you're working late," Sam replied. DJ smirked. "That too." Sam leaned against the counter, watching the machine for a moment. It was something he had done 1,000 times growing up. Standing there while his dad worked, listening to the steady sounds of the shop. Back then, it had been just noise. Now, it felt like something else. Stability, maybe. Something that didn't shift depending on the day. DJ shut the machine down and wiped his hands. "How was work?" "Same as always." "That bad, huh?" "That predictable." DJ nodded. "Predictable isn't always a bad thing." Sam looked at him for a second. "I might be moving out of patrol." DJ paused just slightly. "Yeah?" "IT division. Cybercrime." For a brief moment, something passed across DJ's face. Pride, maybe. Or something deeper. It was gone almost as quickly as it appeared. "That's what you went to school for," DJ said. "Yeah." "You'd be good at it." Sam let out a quiet breath. "I hope so." DJ studied him for a second, then nodded. "You will be." There was certainty in the way that he said it that made Sam almost laugh. "You sound pretty confident." "I am." "Why?" DJ gave a small shrug. "Because you don't do things halfway." Sam shook his head slightly, but there was a faint smile there. They stood in silence for a moment as the shop settled back into its usual quiet. Then Sam's phone buzzed. He pulled it out, glanced at the screen, and frowned. "What is it?" DJ said. Sam didn't answer right away. He read the message again, just to make sure. "Well," DJ said. Sam looked up. "I got it." DJ's expression didn't change immediately. Then slowly it did. "The position," Sam said. "Cybercrime. They want me to transfer." For a second, neither of them spoke. Then DJ nodded once, firm. "Good," he said. "That's good." Sam let out a breath he didn't realize he'd been holding. "Yeah." DJ stepped past him and grabbed 2 cups, pouring coffee like this was any other night. "You earned it," DJ said. Sam leaned back against the counter. "I haven't even started yet." "Doesn't matter." Sam smirked slightly. "You always say that." "That's because it's always true." Sam shook his head, but he didn't argue. He stood there, looking around the shop. The same walls, the same machines, the same steady rhythm that had been there his entire life. Everything felt the same, but something had shifted. He just didn't know how much yet. Behind him, the basement door sat exactly where it always had. Closed, locked, unnoticed. For now. Episode 3, The Pirate King. Coming soon.